definitely a culture shock to Scotland. It's much hotter.
Yes.
But even if just looking around, the soil's different. Everything's quite different. It seems quite calm and peaceful. Everything seems quite quiet
The
sometimes.
area,
Yeah, like almost as if it's constant respect. Mass, the scale of everything, like how many landings there were, how many people died at each battle, and how many different battalions from different countries all came out. And I didn't know that there was all these different countries all fighting at the same peninsula. Like there was Australia, New Zealand, Britain, France, and some German troops as well,
Yes.
all in the same place. And I didn't know that. I thought it was just Turkey and Britain and Australia originally.
Even the Turkish troops came from all over.
Yeah, and we found out that lots of them came from a lot of the Islamic countries in the Middle East and Africa as well to help Turkey. Yeah, there was a certain one we studied lived in Regent Street in Portobello, which I pass almost every day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to think that 100 years ago his family would be sitting in that street, and 100 years ago today he would have been dead, so his family would be sitting in that street and mourning for him, and that was 100 years ago at this very moment.
What was his name?
I think it was Ernest Bailey. Yeah.
Ernest Bailey, and you went to the place where his memorial.
Yes.
It's on the Helles Memorial.
Yeah, he's on the Helles Memorial, and we took a poppy cross down for him there. I absolutely loved meeting everyone from the Turkish school. The school was so different to the schools back home.
Yes.
But everybody was so friendly, so welcoming. We were treated like celebrities. We were like given all this free food, all this free drinks, and on a tour, and everybody coming up to us and talking to us and asking us lots of questions, and just so excited just to see us. And it was so nice to meet all these people because they were just so nice to us. And then we met up with them a lot outside of school as well. They came to the hotel and we went into the shops in the town together, and came back to the hotel, and we all sat in one of the hotel rooms. I think there was at least 20 of us in a hotel room at one point. I talked to them about what it's like. Mostly I talked to them about what it's like living in Chinakilly and living near Gallipoli, and they asked me a lot about living in Edinburgh and Scotland and things like that, and we compared the differences, and it was just quite enlightening. We were talking about a lot of the battles and things, and also some current events that were going on, and he was talking about contrasting things that happened in Turkey 100 years ago compared to what's happening in Turkey right now, with the migrant crisis and ISIS and the countries south from Turkey as well, and just another like threats compared to what it was like 100 years ago. Like he was talking about how this time 100 years ago there was battles going on in Turkey, and war zone. It was a war zone in Turkey 100 years ago, and everybody was dealing with the fighting going on in Gallipoli. And now in Turkey, 100 years later, there's a war zone in the country south of Turkey, and everyone in Turkey is dealing with the migrants that have been displaced from other countries moving through Turkey, and the threat of other groups like ISIS, for example. That was definitely a worthwhile visit. It was nice to see. That even compares to the migrant crisis as well, because the migrant crisis is all these different people moving through Turkey and going through the different layers of Troy shows how many people lived within Turkey and went through Turkey throughout the time between thousands of years before Christ and a couple hundred years after Christ as well. The Greeks lived there, the Romans lived there, lots of Turkish colonies lived there between a long, long time. So it shows how many different people, how many different cultures make up Turkey as it is today.